You've been asking for a firmware update for the Canon EOS R5 Mark II, and today I've got some good news. Canon released firmware 1.2.0 with a bunch of fixes and enhancements. Did we get OpenGate? Did we get other promised capabilities? Click subscribe and we'll get right to it. Hi, I'm Simon. I love scanning the news and rumor sites, the patent applications, and all the pro forums so that you don't have to. And today is a busy day with leaked specifications for the Sony a7 IV, which I published earlier this morning. And now I have something for Canon shooters, particularly shooters of the Canon EOS R5 Mark II. You see, Canon released firmware 1.2.0 this morning for the R5 Mark II. The question is, what did Canon fix and what capabilities did they add? Firmware version 1.2.0 adds support for the EOS Multi-Remote, a remote shooting system for professional photographers. It fixes an issue in which some cases cause the live view to appear distorted or give us that nasty error 70 notification being displayed in situations when the user was capturing multiple exposures shot in a dark environment. And 3, they fixed an issue in which image transfers to an FTP server may fail, displaying error 41 and not the error 70. And in number 4, they fixed an issue that, in rare circumstances, may prevent certain CF Express cards from being formatted in the camera. And you might recall earlier this year, I actually had some problems when firmware 1.1.0 came out, and then a few days later, 1.1.1. I had a 4 terabyte Angelbird CF Express card, and I put it inside the R5 Mark II. And I didn't even get a chance to check the menus. It completely froze. It didn't brick because if I turned it off or pulled the battery and removed the card, it would function perfectly fine. But in terms of trying to get it to recognize that card, it wouldn't happen. And do you know how I got it to work? Well, I put that 4 terabyte Angelbird CF Express card inside the R5 Mark I. It had no problems. It was able to format it, although because it had an older version of the firmware, it could only format the card to 2 terabytes, essentially 2 terabytes. And then I took that card, put it in the R5 Mark II, was able to format it, and I haven't had a problem since. So, yeah. And I remember having a conversation with Canon support online, and they said, yeah, it's not a problem. And I said, well, hold on a minute here, guys. There is a problem because it's to do with error trapping. I shouldn't be able to take a CF Express card, put it in the camera, and then all of a sudden it to brick and not function. That's definitely an error problem with error trapping. Okay, and now for the final one. Are you ready for this? Are we actually getting OpenGate and some other video capabilities in firmware 1.2.0? No, this is how Canon normally completes a firmware update. It improves other system functions or stability issues or stuff like that. And despite advancing the second digit from a 1 to a 2, this isn't what I would call a major update. No OpenGate, no other video capabilities that various websites and forums had indicated would be coming in a major update, late last year. It didn't happen late last year and certainly doesn't appear to be happening now. But thanks to Canon nonetheless for providing us with updates and improvements to what's essentially an 18-month-old camera. We really do appreciate it. The Canon EOS 70D right here, over the entire life of that camera, we had a total of 3 firmware updates, and they were just bug fixes, no enhancements. So very much appreciated. But Canon, while I know you're watching, there is one request that most of us do have. I think it's probably all of us. When it comes to, as you're designing the R5 Mark III, please give us dual CF Express card slots to that camera. It's very much appreciated. We'd really like to see that in the camera. It's not taking away from sales of the Canon EOS R1. I don't know why it isn't there. Sure, it's going to cost a few extra dollars, and probably that means an extra 50 to us, but when it comes to shooting, in all situations, we don't have to worry about taking off dual recording. For example, when I'm shooting video, if I dual record, it doesn't matter if I have a V90 card. I can't do 4K 120. I can't do a bunch of 8K modes. And while I don't shoot 8K as often, 4K 120 is something I shoot an awful lot of. So giving us dual CF Express into both card slots, that would be huge. And for a lot of photo shooters, the bottleneck is with the V90 card, V60, or whatever SD card we have in there. So please, Canon, you've got time. R5 Mark III, dual CF Express card slots. Okay, so back to the firmware update. Now, I haven't yet install this firmware update because, well, there's nothing really noteworthy for my workflow. And I wanted to get you this video out in time for lunch, so, well, there you go. However, I would recommend kind of holding off, just waiting to see if anything pops up. It's not the first time that we've had issues, and Canon does do a good job of fixing issues, and if any cameras are bricked, well, they take care of that, so I'm not really worried. A pre-Christmas firmware update, nonetheless, is still nice, and this marks the 6th firmware update since the R5 Mark II was shipped and announced back in mid-2024. Although 1.1.0 was recalled and replaced with 1.1.1. No difference in capabilities, but that's where we got to be able to use CF Express cards larger than 2 terabytes. And thanks to Mike for bringing this to my attention. I didn't notice this earlier this morning. I was so busy with focusing on that early morning that early morning Sony A7R5 leak specifications, which I got out. So thank you. And if you have overheard anything else that you can share with us that our viewers might be interested in, regardless of the camera brand, then please email me at simondyates@gmail.com so I can share it with my viewers. And if you are looking at spending some leftover cash for this year end, and that's not me, I want to buy the 10 to 20 millimeter, that's what I've decided on, but the cash flow, I started my first quarter last month and I just don't have enough cash flow to get that lens. So for those of you that have extra cash flow and you're looking to get some gear at year end, every camera maker has a large discount in place, pre-price hike discounts. Do you remember those discounts we had all the way back in Christmas, New Year's of 2024? They're back. They're back just as good. Some are even better. The Nikon Z8 is $34.96. The Nikon Z9, $51.96. Over at Canon, the R5, the Mark I, $27.99. The Mark II is $38.99. And over at Panasonic, we have the GH7 at $17.97 and the R5 Mark II at $500 off. And Sony is also offering some really good discounts. $900 off the A7R5 and $700 off the A7 IV. And please consider using my affiliate links when you check out these sales, as I have links to B&H in the United States, Wex Photo and Video in the United Kingdom, and Photocop in Europe. I really do appreciate your support of this channel. This channel doesn't use sponsorships, and I don't like loading up a lot of ads I just don't think are relevant to you. And so far I haven't come across any sort of sponsorship that would really be relevant to you. So whenever you do, click on my links. If you buy anything, I can receive anywhere from a 1.5 to 4% commission back, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you for those of you that do support this channel. It's very much appreciated. And if you click on the link down below and you want to buy something else, as long as it's within one session and you don't click off anywhere else, I still get commission for that. So thank you. Thank you for watching, and don't be surprised if another video drops relatively soon, because things are happening at such a fever pace. Things are happening very quickly. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers. Bye-bye now. And don't forget to punch that subscribe button.